Hello, YouTube. This is Keith Kevin Ken. I'm Kevin. And the sale is going on this Saturday. This Saturday. You might just be watching this preview. So it's today. Yeah, it's August 23rd, Saturday, August 23rd, 2025. This is it. This is table number one. At noon Saturday, we start the collection sale. Now, we'll have noon. We have 70 Spidicles. That's what you're looking at now. Just pure Spidicles. All of these are reasonably priced. I mean, one reason some of these I haven't showed off before is because they're so reasonably priced. I have heavily discounted everything. There are some gems, hard to find Spidicles that are available to you at below the original cost. We're not talking about below eBay. All of these are super below eBay. Some of them 5 times less than the eBay price. So the sale is happening Saturday, August 23rd, 2025. It's going to start at noon with this table. Then at 3 p.m., we have at this table with 70 Spidicles. At 3 p.m., we have 40 Spidicles, 23 Spydicle lapel pins, a Spydicle knife sharpener new in package, a lot of 15 new field notes notebooks, 18 new Word notebooks, which are just like fields, 23, listen to this, 23 Spydicle catalogs. And 3 of them are the earliest little catalogs you've ever seen from Spydicle. I use these for references. If you're going to be even a casual collector of Spidicles, you really need to see these. 23 of them. You don't see this kind of a lot of catalogs. So 3 of the earliest ones, and then catalogs from 2000 through 2020. 2000 through 2020. Also, the very hard to find book. This is at 3 p.m., coming up at 3 p.m. Hard to find the Spydicle Story softcover book. If you find this in the secondary market, I think on eBay, we're talking about multiple hundreds of dollars, like $500, etc. That's available to you, including a lot of games and challenge coins and all kinds of things. And then you can also continue to buy off of this table, the noon table. So that's 3 p.m. Eastern. At 6 p.m. Eastern, 61 non-Spidicles. Yeah, 61 non-Spidicles, 24 case knives. First time you'll see case knives on this channel. I've had them for years, but just really didn't mess with them. I don't know why. And also a Spydicle Vanquist Envoy bag, a messenger bag that's brand new. So you're going to see a lot of great knives. Remember, the sale is U.S. only. U.S. only. PayPal only. So you must have a PayPal account. No friends and families. Don't use friends and families. I pay all of the dues for PayPal. I don't want to get on their wrong side. So all of the dues to PayPal, which isn't insignificant. I also pay for express shipping from the post office as well. First come, first serve. That's why I do this, to make sure that people who have watched me on this channel or on Instagram can have a chance to share my collection. I've been doing this for, 6 years or so, where I trim my collection by offering great deals on knives. I've sold some of the rarest Spidicles there are, the rarest Microtechs out the fronts there are, some of the rarest Chris Reeve knives ever. I think I've sold 70, 75 Chris Reeve knives as well. So let's talk about this table. That's why you're here. I have already uploaded videos for the 3 p.m. table, table number 2, and the 6 p.m. table, okay, table number 3. That's already on this channel. So after you watch this table 1, the next video is table 2, and then the third is table 3. All right? I recommend that you go on this channel and look up closed sales, past sales. Go into one of those, go to the description page, and what you'll see is a numbered list of all the knives from that sale, prices. Also, it starts out with the rules of the sale. So go to get familiar with the rules of how the sale is going to happen before it happens. And also take a look at what the listings will be. Because on Saturday at noon, I'm going to air a video that's just me pointing at all these knives and telling you what the prices are. And on that video, you don't have to wait and watch all the video. You can go to the description page and see all the knives and the prices listed. Okay? And noon, it starts. And you can only buy off the noon table. At 3, you can only buy off the noon table and the 3 p.m. table. At 6, you can buy any of the knives that are still available. Makes sense? I will be shipping out the knives USPS Express, okay? USPS Express, and I will be mailing out all the knives on Thursday. That's because I have to check all the sales, I have to find all the boxes for all these knives, boxes and paperwork, and then ship them out to you. It's just me doing all of this, all right? And then the last thing I always say is have some patience. I am not Blade HQ. I'm a 66-year-old knife lover who has been collecting for 10 years to try to get the best Spyderco collection possible and then selling them all off to you, okay? So just have some patience with me when you're emailing trying to buy knives. I will get to every single one. I start at the first email and work my way up all day long. All right? I appreciate all of you. Let's go over these knives. We're starting with ladybugs, as you can see. I'll open up. This is not a ladybug. It's a man bug. This is not where this should be. All right? I get confused sometimes when I'm putting these things out. As you can see, man bug, a little bit bigger than the others. It should be over here. But let's go over it anyway. I'll change it later. Okay, that's a man bug, VG10 steel, black FRN scales, and it should be here. These two knives are super special. If you're familiar with the USN knife collecting group, a very important group, but even if you aren't, you need to know that this is extremely limited, USN exclusive, Hawkbill blade, green FRN scales, black blades, plain and serrated. Really nice exclusive knives. You can't even find these anymore. Right here, Hawkbill, a ladybug Hawkbill blade, serrated edge, again, H1 steel, waterproof, rust-proof steel. Here's a ladybug. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to... been going so fast. I'm screwing this up. I apologize. This is a ladybug Vitoku 2 steel. 1.9 inch blade. For some reason, all of these are out of order for me on my chart, and I apologize for that. This actually is the Toko 2 knife. This one is K90 steel on the ladybug. The good news about what Spyderco has done, before they started shipping US steel to Japan for their knives, all of these ladybugs and man bug knives would have been VG10 steel. They are not anymore, folks. We've got all kinds of different steels, as you just notice. This is HAP 40 steel. And then this is a nice center exclusive. Packerwood scales. Again, HAP 40 steel for the ladybug. The man bug, which I showed you with the black FRN scales, that's how we started this off. You can tell what happened was Spyderco had these small little ladybugs around, and some men, I guess, said, I feel a little shy talking about a ladybug knife. So they came up with the man bug knife. Thicker than the ladybug, but still has that great size. And now, with all the different shapes and everything, real nice knife. For instance, here's a Wharncliffe man bug. These are perfect knives on a keychain. You know, if I'm an old man, I remember the watch pocket, the little pocket on your jeans. I know they still have it. Just a nice little extra carry. And now when you're talking about, this is VG10 steel. But now you can have all this different steel, some exclusives as well. It's just a real nice knife. I told you about the Vitoku 2 ladybug. Here's the man bug version. I told you about the ladybug K390 steel. Here's the man bug version. Guys, just a perfect all-around knife. I love to use these as gifts as well. You don't have to be a knife lover or anything. Everyone has to cut boxes. Some people use a sharp edge on their fingernails, etc. An everyday, easy to carry knife is available to you, especially with the ladybugs and the man bugs. I have always loved the crickets. The crickets are really great. Fortunate enough to find in super shape one of the first versions of the cricket. This is vintage Gen 1 steel, plain edge. The cricket has that reverse S like the civilian. The great thing about this, and you find this out in the Spyderco book, they came up with the civilian. And the civilian, big reverse S with serrated edge, a deep point, was for self-defense. And then this was the knife they came up with after the civilian. Yeah, for a pocket. And they kind of designed it like a flat stone that you could throw, you know, skim on the water or something. Just a real nice design. This is the original. And look at the shape of it. You see the clip in the back. 3 of these 4 crickets are super hard to find. And if you find them, they're going to cost you an arm and a leg. Not here. This one has the serrated edge, and right here is FRN scales. But it's under this smooth surfacing. Feels great in the hand. Again, with that frame lock. These things feel so substantial. They look great. I have used these as dollar bill holders with that clip. Slip it in your pocket over your loose bills that are no longer loose. This right here is a black Nicesian scale on a Cricut plain edge. Nicesian, that is, and again, smooth, covered, looks great. Nicesian, that pattern is from an exclusive Japanese kimono pattern that Spyderco uses. They have the black Nicesian is harder to find, and they have blue Nicesian as well. They no longer do Nicesian knives. Those three are super classic. This one is the stainless steel version that's still available. You can still pick it up. VG10 steel, serrated edge. Those are the Cricuts. Yeah, we're kicking off with these small, I call them keychain knives, or just a drop pocket knife. Okay, these knives are really great to carry every single day. Now, when Spyderco came out with the Rhodey, I just went crazy with these Rhodeys. And of course, I bought all 6 colors of it. Slip joint, has that half stop. The story behind this is after 9/11 and the feds were saying no knives on planes, and then they were starting to think about allowing knives to come back, okay? And Spyderco took all of the specs that the government had and came up with this slip joint knife, the Rhodey. You can see it doesn't have a nick nail. Instead, it has, you grab it here to pick it up. 2-hand opener, great for international. Non-locking, great for international. Of course, the feds decided, nah, we still don't trust you with knives on the airplanes. But Spyderco said, hey, we came up with nice knives, let's do this. And so here you have it. Those are the 6 Rhodeys, all in different colors with smooth G10 scales. 3 Spyderco Dragonflies are left. Let me tell you, VG10, Dragonfly, wire clip, back lock, 2.3 inches, black FRN scales, Dragonfly with an Emerson opener, which will help you automatically open your knife as you're withdrawing it from your pocket. You can even put this in a shirt pocket if you need to. VG10 steel, black FRN scales. And then the last Dragonfly, I had the satin blade and I sold that off. Here's the all black, pink and black Dragonfly. It's beautiful, isn't it? S30V steel. Again, it was so great. I was so happy when Spyderco started shipping steel to Japan, and I like VG10 as an all-around steel, but to get nice steel like S30V on a Dragonfly is wonderful. Of course, when people ask me what knife should I get from Spyderco, I start with, listen, get a value folder knife. That's how I started. It's inexpensive. They cut like crazy. I started collecting with them. I got all of the value folders knives. I like it because you start with that and just collect all of the value folder knives. There's so many varieties now. You get all different sizes. I started out, and boy, they bit me like crazy. I lost so much blood when I started with Spyderco because they come so sharp. But do that. And then I say, but if you really, once you know you want a Spyderco and you're a beginner, and I'll say this to you if you want to give it to someone as a gift, the Delica is a wonderful choice. Now, in this case, I have two pink Delicas. But the Delica, just this nice, easy EDC slicer because of that thin blade. This is S30V steel with a satin blade. You see the one there? S30V with a black blade. 2.9-inch blade too. Just like right under the 3-inch blade. And then the third one that's available, Delica, is K390 steel with his blue FRN scales. Just a real nice steel and a nice compact EDC knife. Just classic. And with that FRN scale, it's so light. Now, here are two groups of knives. I've decided not to sell them separately. One, if I sold them separately, I'd be paying you after PayPal dues, PayPal charges, and mailing it out. I have bought these two collection of knives all together because it just made sense. And these are the small knives that you hear about. The Grasshopper, the Honeybee. Grasshopper, Honeybee, and then the Bug. I think I got those in order. Stainless steel, wonderful knives. The smallest is 1.3-inch blade. Of course, they're slip joints, tight. Remember, all of the knives you see on this desk I have never used. They still have the factory edge. The middle one is 1.6-inch Honeybee. And then the Grasshopper, 2.3 inches. So that's the stainless steel satin version. And then, oh, I just went crazy. If you guys were in my apartment when they came out with the blacked out version, are you crazy? Of all three of them, the Grasshopper, the Honeybee, and the Bug, get out of here. Slip joint knives, all three of them are very functional, not just for looks. But I say two of the three are perfect for keychain or just a drop in your pocket. We have one little native left. Had a collection of little natives. I know. The little native, they have treated, when they first brought it out, they had a plain edge and a serrated edge little native. This, of course, is the serrated edge S30V with a back lock. Now all the little natives have a compression lock, but this back lock is so nice. I think it's one of the Spidicals. I love a compression lock, but the back lock, I'm just so reassured by it. 4-way clip. That's the little native. Now here are the other natives. This is S35 VN steel, blacked out native with the FRN scales, super lightweight, 3-inch blade, made in America. Native is one of the knives from Spyderco made in America, has been all around. They really like the native. The second native that I have available has Spyderco's Spy 27 steel on it, satin blade, and then a vintage native. Classic, a native 3, perfect shape. Look at the wire clip. I always like to, when I'm talking about the vintage knives from Spyderco, to point out this wire clip is nothing new. It's been around for a very long time. And a lot of compression locks on vintage knives as well. But, oh, yes, it's thicker. No, it's not. It's about the same thickness. FRN scales. Real nice knife. Classic. You know, on the second table, and the video is up right now on this channel, I offer 2 very special natives. Now, these are not natives, Manixes, and we'll talk about the newer Manix 2s here, but I offer Manix 1s, the regular size and the large size. So check that out if you haven't checked out table 2. Cram for the sale, please. The sale happens this Saturday, August 23rd, 2025. It starts noon Eastern Standard Time. Table 1 at noon. Table 2 is introduced at 3. Table 3 is introduced at 6 p.m. USA only. PayPal only. You must have a PayPal account. No friends and family. I take care of all of the dues. I also do take care of all the shipping, and I ship it USPS Express. So you'll be very happy with that. Let's see, what else? I mean, priority mail. USPS priority mail. I ship out all knives on Thursday. Okay? So let's continue. You know, we talked about the Delica. The second knife I say is, if you like, now this is what I've said for years, if you like a bigger knife than the Delica, do the Endura. And we'll talk about the Enduras that are available. And then, recently, Spyderco came out with the Indela. What's the Indela? It is exactly between the Delica and the Endura. If you felt the Delica was a little too small at 3 inches, okay, and the Endura a little bit too big at 3.7 inches, then they came out with the Indela, combination of the two, at 3.4 inches. We have 4 Indelas available. VG10 steel. Like I said, 3.4 inches, not the 3 for Delica, not the 3.7 for Endura, but 3.4. Here's the serrated edge, all VG10. This Indela, sorry guys. This Indela is K390 steel. And then the last Indela that we have, VG10 with the Emerson opener. Emerson opener means put it in your pocket, and as you withdraw it, it opens up the blade. Those are the Indelas. Indelas. Delica, Indelas, Delicas, 3.0, 3-inch blade, 3.4 inch for the Indelas, and then the Enduras, 3.7 inch. Just a classic Spyderco knife. This is S30V steel for the Indera. Like I said, you used to only, when I started collecting, you could only get these knives in VG10. K390, Endura, Brown Zome, I call it Zome, Zome, VG10 steel. Of course, this right here, no two Zome patterns are the same. So this was a painted brown knife, and then they customized it by dripping on the lighter brown into a unique pattern. Those are the Zome. And then, yeah, a Wharncliffe serrated edge VG10 Endura. The Endura Trainer. This has no edge whatsoever. This just gets you really good with your Endura. Of course, all the Endura has clips, 4-way clips. Just classic knives. And then I want to end this Delica Indela Endura with a classic Endura. Super in classic. Gen 2 steel. Okay? Early steel. And look at the clip. This was Spyderco, one of the earlier clips with Spyderco, molded. You see that? Into the FRN scales. Of course, they stopped doing that. You can imagine why. If the clip broke, it's not an easy fix, right? You have now ruined the scale. But, oh, what a vintage knife. I'm trying to give you the newer stuff, the unique stuff that a collector would want, but also some vintage knives. By the way, finding that kind of vintage Endura or any of these Spyderco vintage knives, excuse me. Hey guys, I'm old and overweight, so I'm huffing and puffing. I apologize for that. But I have some great knives for you. Anyway, I think those first 3 rows are so classic. If you're interested at all in collecting Spydercos, that's the way to do it. Another American made. Now, the Delica, Indela, and Endura are Japanese made knives, super well done. I mean, it's a Spyderco factory. And now that they have more steel than VG10, they're really great. Now let's talk about the Manix 2. Okay? This is Manix 2. Actually, one of the newer Manix 2s with that CTS BD1 steel, black FRN scales, 3.4 inch blade, another Spyderco classic, and of course, that wonderful lock. This is a Mannix 2. Again, all of these knives, none of them have cut anything. They have the factory edge on them. This is a Mannix with an S110V steel. FRN scales, of course, this wonderful lock. Wire clip. Hey, if an old man like me can use a Mannix with that smooth action, you know what kind of great knife. American made, one of their American made knives. And here's Spyderco Steel Spy 27. Yeah. Look, I'm wiping it off. These knives are in great shape, guys. So that's the Spy 27 with that green blue FRN scales Mannix. Spyderco came out with the Rock Jumper, plain edge, and a serrated edge knife. This is the serrated with the Wharncliffe blade. 2.8 inch, super light, real nice EDC knife. Here's the Police 4 VG10 steel. Look at the Police. One of the bigger Spyderco knives, have been around for a very long time. This is the 4 Police VG10 steel, 4.1 inch with FRN scales, lightweight. One of the knives I really enjoy is the Shaman. You know, Spyderco went crazy. I still remember it as if it was yesterday. As you get older, time flies by. And they came out with a little Native, American made, of course, off of the Native. They came with the Shaman, which I call the big Native, and then the Chief, which is even a bigger knife. I loved this. These are the 4 knives that they introduced the Shaman with. Okay? You see it? Native, right? Big Native. S30V steel, 3.6 inch blade. Compression lock. Just a classic Spyderco, beefed up. Then the black edge, plain edge knife. Again, S30V. These are the knives that started it all. And then they went through a lot of variations. You can check on this channel. I collected them all. And then I sold them all at a huge discount to you guys. The last two, actually the last two are the the serrated edge. Here's the blacked out S30V serrated. Plain edge serrated S30V. Compression lock. Oh, they're so smooth. Pair of 3s, I have 2 of them left for you. Here are the pair of 3s, blacked out versions. CTS BD 1N steel, black blade, plain edge, FRN, of course the compression lock, wired clip. And this is the blacked out serrated version of the Para 3 CTS BD1N steel, the serrated version with the compression lock. Guys, this table 1 is just pure Spyderco. I wanted to start the sale with just 70 great Spyderco knives, super affordable, can start your collection, can add to your collection, You can use them as gifts to introduce people to Spyderco. On this table right now, these are the knives that define Spyderco. Some vintage pieces, some newer pieces at every single different size. Why is this native here instead of with the other natives? That's a good question. It's because I couldn't find it. I did all my research with prices and everything, and then I found it. Okay? This is a native S35VN steel with black G10, the liners, the backlock, a classic, super classic native. S35VN native. So let's talk about the last row. Hold on. I'm going to do one of these poor camera moves for the last line of these knives. Yeah, these are long, but I want you guys to be able to do your research on the knives that will be going on sale going on sale August 23rd, this Saturday, starting at noon. So let's talk about these knives. It starts with the Pacific Salt II H1 steel, rust proof. It's basically an Endura. Yeah, Pacific Salt II, but with an H1 steel. Actually, not the Endura. It's like the Indela. It's 3.4 inches. Great size. If you're a fisherman, if you just want to make sure your knives don't get rusty, if you work around water, in the rain, or whatever, these are great knives. And again, with the classic structure that you've come to like. This is the Pacific II with H1 steel, the serrated edge version. Great for fishing. Nothing's better than a serrated edge for fishing, in my opinion. For whatever that's worth, right? Another Pacific Salt II, blacked out version, plain edge. Again, remember 3.4 inches, FRN scales. In that Endura size between the 3.4 inch blade, between the Delica and the Endura. H1 steel, waterproof, corrosion proof. Let's continue. Here is the Salt II yellow FRN scales, that Wharncliffe serrated edge. Again, rust proof with that H1 steel. This is the Delica size. Here's Salt II. This is the Indela size 3.4 inch blade. H1 steel, plain edge, that yellow FRN 4-way clip. Another Salt II. I'm sorry. I screwed it up. Yeah, Pacific Salt II. H1 steel, serrated edge, 3.4 inches. Plain edge, serrated edge. And now the last four, I know, you probably thought it would never end, right? I want to make these as conversational as I go through these tables so that you guys get a feel for the knives, especially these first 70. All of them are extremely affordable. In fact, when I started researching and putting them all together, I went, okay, I could sell this whole table and not be that far up. after mail charges and PayPal, but I want you guys to have these knives. These are so classic, perfect gifts. Now on table 2 and table 3 that are up right now on my channel, those 3 tables, you'll get a lot of vintage, a lot of spectacular, a lot of hard to find or can't find, all of them reasonable, but this 70 Spyderco knives, super, some very collectible, super usable if you're looking for a knife that'll last forever. I say this is, this is the gift off of this table that I give to my kids. I'm not there pushing them to be a collector. I'm there letting them appreciate Spyderco knives. And this is the desk that you start with, okay? I mean the table. So let's go with the last 4. This is a Pacific Salt II LC200N steel. So you still get that corrosion resistance. I like the LC200N steel. Waterproof. Design, was it designed by NASA, I believe? Just a real nice knife. Again, 3.4 inches, which I think is a perfect everything kind of knife, especially if it's raining or snow. Believe it or not, we're in the summer now, but unfortunately, fall is just around the corner. Salt II, the serrated edge LC200N steel. And then the last knife, the Atlantic Salt LC200N steel, black hardware, serrated. There you have it. That's the table. That's table 1. That's the table. Awkward camera transition. That's the table, folks. That's the table for the Saturday sale that starts noon Eastern time. This is the first table that you'll see, 70 Spydercos. This defines Spyderco, at least for me. Perfect gifts. Perfect to add to your collection. All of these are EDC knives. Comes with their box, papers, great condition, never used. I'll see you on Saturday at noon Eastern. Don't forget to do your homework. Check out the 3 videos that I uploaded for table 1. This is table 1, table 2, and table 3. Before that start of the sale. Look up one of the closed sales. Look at that video so you see how it starts. Go on the description page. You'll see the list of the knives numbered with prices. So you'll see how they come. The rules of the sale is also there. They're simple, but they're there. You can also go to my Instagram, Keith Kevin Ken Instagram, because I lay it out and I do like 6 paragraphs about the sale and the tables and everything. So that'll be good reference as well. Let me tell you, it's going to be fun. And let me tell you how it ends up. It ends up where hundreds of my knives from my collection are in your hands. I'm so proud of that. Someone told me, hey, I see your knives on eBay or other sites. People buy them cheap and then they resell them. I don't care. As my mama told me, intentions count. So I'm just happy to put them in their hands. Once they're in your hands, they're your knives. Do whatever you want. Throw them down the sewer, step on them, break them. I don't care. I'm not that kind of guy. You do you. But I'm so happy. I want you to have these knives. I'll see you on Saturday. You'll enjoy yourself. At the end, everyone who has knives, I have now sold over 700 of my knives. The people who get the knives love them. The people who miss out on the knives because it's first come, first serve, think that I've cheated in some way. I'll tell you this. I don't know any of the people, don't know them at all, who have bought my knives over the past 7 years. Over 700 knives. I don't know them. I'm not going to know. I don't know you guys personally. I'm happy that you're watching me. So there's no reason for me to cheat. You can buy multiple knives. Here's the only thing. You can call up and say, I want 20 knives, 5 knives. People do 5 knives, 6 knives. And what I'll say is, okay, all 6 of the knives are available. Go to PayPal, buy the 6 knives. Most of the time I go, hey, 2 of those knives have already sold, but 3 of them are available. They're yours. Then you have to go and buy those 3 knives. If you don't, I'll disqualify you because I'm holding 3 knives for you and you don't show up. There are always multiple people waiting for those knives. Okay? And then the biggest rule is enjoy yourself. I appreciate all of you. Even if you don't join us for the sale, I'm so happy. This forces me to put together tables and go through knives, even though I know they're real long. Fast forward. Use the fast forward. Hey, you take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow. Well, see you Saturday. Bye now.